Hi everyone, Chris Sugden at KECO UK. Today I would like to introduce you to our brand new K tower, which is now battery powered. That's just one of the features. So we're going to now set it up onto a car and look at some of the other benefits that the K tower can bring to you. So back to the battery power. Again, I've got no airlines, I'm working completely free around this system. Switch the battery on, open up the valve, pressure onto the foot plate. We've already got suction, but we'll just let that battery complete its cycle. Now you'll notice I'm talking, yes, I've got a microphone on, that battery's running, it's not creating a huge amount of noise. There's a lot of these which really do overpower the workshop and certainly the working area when they're working with them. We're roughly 20 seconds, that's now turned off, it's got the suction that we require. We're not going to hear from it again until we disrupt that airflow. Done. So, battery powered, no cables, super quiet. So, we've got quite a tall post, it's just under 6 foot-ish. Chain operated, ratchet operated. And what we've also got, which again is unique to the vacuum towers, is this finite adjustment tool, and I'll show you exactly how that works now. So I've preloaded some tabs up. I'm going to take our curved tab track, simply slide over our centipede tab. Vacuum tower is still suction to the floor. Simple ratchet operation, chain driven. What you also get with the KECO K tower is a weighted safety vest. This is just going to help that drop to the floor should ever glue tabs come off. Perhaps you've pulled it to an extent that you're happy with. We don't want that firing anywhere, so we've got a weighted vest on there now, which is just going to help that chain drop straight to the floor without any harm to the operator. We're under tension now. What we don't want to be doing is over pulling too much. Quite often vacuum towers, they have a small tooth ratchet, they might have some sort of winch mechanism. There's a big variety. What's generally the case throughout, you're always talking somewhere between 2 and 5 millimeters of movement before you get to that next click. 2 millimeters across that panel, that wheel arch is massive. That's now brought my repair out way too far. I don't want that. I just want to add a little bit more tension. With the KECO K tower, what we've got is the finite tension tool. We can do the bulk of the heavy lifting with the ratchet. Now we get to this point, I'm working closer to the vehicle, I can actually just dial in millimeter by millimeter how much tension is being applied to that panel. Unique to the vacuum tower world and a really absolutely fantastic addition. When you're using these things, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when we're talking about that extra pull to click it into place. Often way too much. So now we can dial it in, be a lot more accurate and hopefully work with a lot more finesse. So we've had a quick look there at our finite tension tool. Now let's look at the post angle adjustment, because this is very unique to this tower and from an operator's point of view, absolute godsend. So if I just remove this, and I want to now work on a different part of the panel. I don't need to disconnect my airline. I don't need to then drag this across or slide it or try lift it. We all know that the foam of these vacuum towers is probably the weak point, so we really want to look after that as much as what we can. I don't need to touch my foam. This hasn't kicked up again. It's still stuck to the floor from that first battery operation, but now I want to start working on a different part of the panel. So quite simply, I'm going to come around here, undo this, and I can now lean my tower, lock it into place, and I'm working in a different area. So that right there, it's not quite to the full extent, but we've got 30 degrees either way. 60 degrees of post angle movement. That's getting me across the full length of most panels without disrupting my foam, without moving my tower, without moving any cables or anything. Absolute godsend. So next up, let's take a look at the crown holder that we've got. Big problem with these vacuum towers, we're always creating what we call a single action motion. We're taking the steel, the damage, and we're just moving it one way. We're never doing anything about holding that car or that steel in to create a nice, healthy, strong box. So what you'll very often find as you start to create a pull, we get a big lean over from the car. I've been doing some training sessions and demos where we've actually had cars moving sideways across a workshop, particularly on quite a good epoxied floor like this. So how can we stop that? This is how. I'm going to take our crown holder. We've got dual saddles, so we have one up top so we can go high, one low so we can go lower. So now we've added the crown holder and we've created a brace against the car. So even if we start to see this car moving sideways, that is always going to hold against the car. If we don't want to be holding the car so much, maybe we're holding the lower half of the panel, the bottom of the door to stop the door from flexing. That is now going to keep the rest of this panel in place. We're not going to be pulling it anywhere that we don't want to, and we're focusing the pull right where our glue tabs are. All in all, some brilliant features to the K Tower. Battery powered, no cables, no airlines, no mess. The post lean, again unique to KECO, and then also the crown holder. It really is a fantastic piece of kit and super strong. I mean, look at the size of this plate. One final thing I forgot to mention, when we're parking this up, we have a little kickstand which is just going to lift that plate up from the ground so it's not living on the foam, compressing it and flattening it out. Yes, all in all, fantastic piece of equipment, and if you'd like to know more or see one of these in your workshop, then get in touch.